What is up, everybody? On today's Unbiased Hard Take. As promised, we are going here now to talk about the Packers' 2025 season, sort of break down what happened over the season, and where the Packers really need to move forward. Because moving into the season, I had Green Bay winning the Super Bowl when they got Micah Parsons, and a lot of people did too, especially winning the NFC North. But of course, we all know that Matt LaFleur is part of the 7-seed Merchant Club and refuses to get anything better than the 7 seed. Green Bay ended up finishing the season, as we know, 9 wins, 7 losses, 1 tie, finishing as a playoff team for a third year in a row, third year as a wild card, third year as a 7 seed actually, and losing in round 1 of the playoffs to the Chicago Bears in dramatic fashion, allowing over 20 points in the fourth quarter and collapsing and losing in the first round 2 years in a row. So where do we go from here? So obviously, the first thing we'd be talking about is the coaching, and there's been more reports. I don't know why this was reported twice by Adam Schefter, because he reported this a few weeks ago, actually not even a few weeks ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, that Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst will likely be back, and then he contradicted his report because we all know he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a fucking idiot. Adam Schefter is. He's just a moron. He reported that, it's not a done deal yet. We don't know. It's up in the air. Well, I think the exact wordage he used on if he'll be back. And then, of course, this morning there was reports out of ESPN and Adam Schefter's clown show that they're expected to bring them back, and then they're working on the fine-tuned details. And here's the reality. They're under contract anyway, so there really is no leverage for Gutekunst or Matt LaFleur. You've lost in the first round of playoffs 2 years in a row. Mark Murphy's not here to save you now, and Ed Policy looks like he's actually going to hold people accountable and expect a championship team. And I think that next season is going to tell a lot. That Green Bay is going to need to make a deep run in the playoffs, or both of them will be gone. I don't think a divisional round is good enough. You need to get to a conference championship at least. At the very least. So the coaches, that's kind of where we are right now. Jeff Hafley has interviewed for almost every open head coaching vacancy. We'll see what happens with him. I don't necessarily want to lose Hafley. I think he's been a pretty good defensive coordinator. In his first year, we ranked in the top 10 in defense. This year, we were outside the top 10 in offense and defense. So Green Bay this season kind of had a weird year. A lot of our wins were sort of weird wins, even like the Cardinals win was weird. The Giants win was weird. I mean, so the Vikings win, when we got them, that was a weird win. So Green Bay seemed to, get wins, make the playoffs, winning record, but sort of underperformed all year. It seemed like when the offense had a good game, the defense would slack up, like that Cowboys game when we tied. And then it seems like when the defense would play well, the offense would struggle, which was seen in the Philadelphia game on Monday Night Football. So I do think, obviously, Green Bay is going to obviously run it back. I mean, there's really no other option right now. I mean, you already have your head coach. He's led to the playoffs constantly. The grass may not always be greener on the other side. I said that about Pittsburgh, and Green Bay sat stagnant and let the Giants snag off Harbaugh. So because Harbaugh's off the market now, Matt LaFleur is probably our best bet. So I'm excited to be the wild card 7 seed again next year, probably. So that'll be fun. But looking here to see at the Packers, how the Packers salary cap situation looking. So currently the Packers salary cap right now, our biggest hits right now is Jordan Love, $36.2 million, Aaron Banks, $24.9 million. That's an embarrassing one. And Micah Parsons, $19.2, McKinney, $19.1, Josh Jacobs, $14.6 are our top 5 cap hits for this coming season. So then you're looking at our unrestricted free agents right now. So the Packers right now actually have a decent amount of unrestricted free agents, and we're going to go down the cap list situation here and find those. So quarterback Malik Willis, obviously he's going to be gone. We're going to find us a new backup quarterback. He's getting paid. Wide receiver Romeo Doubs, tight end John Fitzpatrick, lineman Rasheed Walker, defensive end Kingsley Mbari, defensive tackle Jonathan Ford, linebackers Quay Walker, Christian Welch, Nick Nyman, and safety Zane Anderson. So really not a must-bring-back player. I mean, Romeo Doubs would be nice to bring back, but the Packers currently only right now are looking at currently around, nothing's official, because they still could cut players like Rashawn Gary and things of that nature to save up cap space. Diggs as well, I expect him to be gone. They'll save a lot of cap space with him, cutting him. So, I mean, that number's going to change, but right now, the Packers just don't have a lot of cap space to play with right now. Currently, right now, the Packers have about $14.5 million to work with next year. And out of all of those guys, I don't think you're going to be able to pay Romeo that 10-11 because you're going to have to sign the draft picks, practice squad players, the extra roster spots that teams have now. You're going to have to find ways to pay those players. So they're not going to be able to sign a lot of free agents this year. So if Packer fans, I know it's probably not what you're not wanting to hear. If you're wanting to sign a lot of free agents, that's not traditionally what Green Bay does, is make splashy moves. In the last couple of years, they have done that. They signed Aaron Banks, Nate Hobbs last year, and then, of course, traded for Micah. A year before that, brought in Josh Jacobs, brought in Xavier McKinney. So the Packers these last few years have made a lot of big swings. And really, we're just going to have to run it back with these guys that we've made big swings for. Aaron Banks, Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs. There really isn't going to be a lot of changes with the team. We're going to have our draft picks. Obviously, we'll lose a couple players. I expect Quay Walker to be gone. I mean, he's a good tackler, good run defender, but he's one of the worst linebackers in the league when it comes to coverage. Rasheed Walker is another one I would sort of like to bring back, but he might get a deal around $20 million a year. I mean, and he's a good pass protection, but he's horrible at run blocking. And we know the Packers' running games struggle a little bit this season because of people like him, who are good pass blockers, but very inconsistent, to just straight bad run blockers. But, I mean, John Fitzpatrick, I mean, we have a good tight end room, Green Bay does, so that's not necessary. I mean, Sean Ryan, he's a pretty mediocre player. I mean, we don't necessarily need to bring him back. Wouldn't be upset if they did. Really, the only two players I think Green Bay straight up has to bring back is Kingsley Mbari. He's left our pass rush this year that struggled mightily when Mike was gone. And Micah's going to be back next year, but might miss a week or two the first couple weeks of the season. So we're going to need to sort of bolster that pass rush, bring him back. And safety Zan Anderson had some good defensive snaps this year and a good special teams player as well. So I think they should bring him back as well on a shorter deal. And, of course, sign the draft picks. And speaking of draft picks, Green Bay also does not have their first-round pick. That went to Dallas, as we know, because of the Micah trade. So we have selections in the 2nd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, and 2 7th-round picks for a total of 6 total picks. Green Bay is expected to get some compensation picks from the NFL from free agency. We know how all those work out here when late February, early March runs around. So Green Bay will probably get some comp picks once the season ends officially around March time. So that'll probably, I would say, increase the number of draft picks. But either way, Green Bay does not have a first-round pick this year. So we're really going to have to hit on those later-round picks, 2nd round. We don't have a 3rd round either. So we only have 1 pick in the top 3 rounds. So we really got to make these draft picks count and find good players in the later rounds. And Green Bay's been known to do that. So they're a draft and develop team. I expect that to be the philosophy this year, coming year. Green Bay just needs to get healthy. Tucker Kraft comes back. Micah Parsons comes back. We got Jordan Love still. I mean, we got Josh Jacobs still. Christian Watson will have a full season under his belt. And we don't really even need Romeo at this point because now we can sort of slide Matthew Golden into his spot. We still have, as we know, Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed as well. So Green Bay will still have plenty of receivers to throw to. I don't expect Romeo to be back. And necessarily don't think we necessarily need him back either. So really not a lot of free agencies. I think Green Bay will look a lot of the same next season as they do this year. They'll pretty much stick to their guns right now, draft guys, maybe re-sign a couple of those unrestricted free agents we talked about, and really just run it back and see what Matt LaFleur is made of. Because this season is going to be a season where we win at least a playoff game or 2 in order for Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst to keep their jobs. And that's just a reality. It's a hard reality in football. I know he's made the playoffs every season he's been there, I think, except 1. So I know it's a tough league, but in Green Bay, it's not good enough to just make the playoffs. This isn't Jacksonville. This isn't the Raiders. We're just making the playoffs would be a accomplishment. This is Green Bay. They call us Title Town, and you just blew it against the Bears in a playoff game. And the biggest Bears-Packers matchup since the 2010 NFC Championship game, and Matt LaFleur blew it. That's really enough to get you fired, but I do understand why they want to run it back with Matt LaFleur. But Green Bay's roster probably will look a lot the same. Expect a lot of smaller signings, draft and develop mentality, kind of a quiet offseason this year from Green Bay is what I expect. With the salary cap situation, things of that nature, they're just going to retool a couple things, I think, and get healthy for next year. But that's all I got. What do you guys think of this video breakdown, where the Packers are headed and where they should go in the future? Do you think it's going to be a busy offseason market of trades, free agency, or do you think Green Bay is going to do just sort of draft and develop like I think? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let me know what you think of the show. Also, don't forget to hit that like button on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube as well. We appreciate the support from you guys, and that's all I got. A lot of good football coming today, so hope you guys are watching some good playoff football this weekend. But until next time, let's go Heat, boiler up, and go Pack, go baby. We'll see you all next time.